Everybody, welcome to my podcast. I'm so excited to invite you to watch my friend Tammy Ruggiero on this episode of Unstoppable Tales from the Phoenix and Fireweeds. So,
Thank you for having me.
my dear, one of my besties is here with us today, and the world needs to know what Tammy does. So, please help me with a warm welcome to invite Tammy to our show. For all you listeners, I am Lisa Shea, our host. I'm a therapist, shamanic influenced energy healer, intuitive, psychic, LCSW, working. So funny to say this, but I'm working globally now. So it's really such a pleasure to be here. Everyone, Tammy, and Tammy to everyone who gets to see you and feels your energetics. So Tammy, as I was sitting with welcoming you today, I was thinking, what do I really want to know? And it was really cool because it was like such a blank slate. Like I just was like, okay, the angels are just going to guide us,
Mm-hmm.
And that's typically what happens on this show. I was in the shower actually, because, I was racing home from what I thought was going to be restorative, and it wasn't. It was a power yoga. I was drenched in sweat, and I was standing under the water, and I thought, I really want to know two things. I want to know if you tell us a little bit about how you became Be Authentically You, because that's really who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You are an authenticity expert queen, radiating in your own work and the fruits of your labor. What is it that you do, if you want to tell the audience just briefly what you do, how people can find you? And then I'm going to hold myself because then I have another question. So,
Okay, got it. So, thank you. It's an honor to be here with you, Lisa. You know how much I admire you and your work, and you're a sacred soul sister, and it's just a privilege to be sharing this time with you. So, thank you. So, tuning in to how I became Be Authentically You. Yeah, it's been quite a journey. And I would say stems way back from childhood, right? We start back in childhood and we start to be conditioned and enter into the world of being you with lots of influences coming at us. And what I would say is I have spent most of my life until probably the last 10 years, but mostly in the last couple of years where I've really been able to step into who I truly am. And what I found was, as I've been through this journey, when I put the dots together, is prior to my spiritual awakening, which happened on the throes of me being in the battle of an alcohol addiction problem. And when I first got sober, that was when the, spirit arose in me, and I was like, what am I doing with my life, right?
mm,
But prior to that, I was feeling just completely disconnected. It was like I was walking around in this shell of a body, not knowing what I was doing, meaning I was seeking everything outside of me to make me feel whole. I was grasping at anything that would come and show me that I was lovable, and to try and prove who I was as a person instead of inherently knowing that I'm a worthy, lovable, amazing, spiritual, divine being, right? That was completely not in my realm of awareness at all. I was completely unaware of that even was possible. So the word that always sticks with me is just disconnected, completely disconnected from my being, from my inner soul. And so as I had this spiritual awakening, when I realized like I was literally killing myself with alcohol, which, as anyone would know, is not serving anyone to do that, I started on this journey of reconnecting to my soul, not really knowing that that's what I was doing, honestly, at the beginning. It's been since 2009. So it's been, that's 12, I can't add. It's been a number of years, over 10 years.
Doesn't matter. It's a long time.
Yeah. And so as a part of that journey, I realized that I wanted something more. And so I sought out seeking a health coaching certificate. as part of my spiritual program to discover who I was. So it's been this path of who am I? What do I really need? What do I really want?
Mm.
And how do I figure that out?
Mm.
I had no idea.
Mm.
And so the health coaching was the first piece of that. And since then, I've worked with many mentors, many coaches, been in many programs, been on my own path of what I call the path of discovery.
Mm.
And I realized at the root of all of this is a lack of self love, right? Lack of
Mm.
self connection, lack of
Mm.
connection to something greater. And so my coaching has evolved from more of a food and lifestyle and nutrition and
Mm.
exercise and that kind of thing to
Mm.
really the center of it all is how well you love yourself and know yourself.
Mm.
So my current method, right, is bringing in my wisdom from my life experience, mostly the school of life, to
Mm.
share with other women how to discover who they truly are inside and
Mm.
how they can cultivate self-love,
Mm.
because love is the answer. Love,
Mm.
it trumps fear over and over. So, and there's not one way. There's not one way to do it. There hasn't been one way for me. It's been
Right.
a roller coaster ride of
Mm.
many, many things that I've tried and challenges that I've faced, and I'm still ever evolving and changing. I'm still discovering my authenticity,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't change it for the world. Wouldn't change it. So yeah.
I relate to like every single word. So
Thank
another inquiry just arose. You are clearly a phoenix and clearly a fireweed.
you.
How do you see yourself? What was that moment like, that defining moment when you felt yourself coming up? Wow, I'm goosebumping because I've had so many of these. That
Mm.
moment when you're coming up from the ashes. What was that like for you?
Oh, wow. So I would say there's been a couple, but I would
Mm.
say the first time I got sober, honestly, I was scared out of my mind. Okay. I didn't know
Yeah,
what I was doing, and I just
sure.
was doing what I was told.
Yep.
And that first 7 years actually was really like this just trial and error
Mm.
of, my gosh, am I gonna, how am I gonna do this? What am I doing?
Mm.
And just many ups and downs experiences and tuning into what I really want and what I really need.
Mhm.
And but I remember so distinctly, I ended up drinking again. So I fell off the wagon, if you want to call it. And there was a couple of years
Mm.
actually that were pretty challenging. And when I came out of that in 2018, I think it was, I had this meditation that one of my mentors brought me to the top of a mountain,
Mm.
and she helped me take all my power back. And I came out, I mean, it sounds so simple,
My whole
but it
body's
was
goosebumping. That's
so
not simple.
profound
Yeah.
that she helped me take my power back. And it was like
Beautiful.
at the end of that meditation, I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And what's possible for me? And I remember my husband noticing a shift, and he said,
Mm.
what's, like, in a couple weeks later, maybe, what's
Mm.
going on with you? And I was like,
So
there is
beautiful.
so much more to life than alcohol. It
Ah,
was such a profound, like, defining moment for me.
yeah.
And that was like the next leap into the next layer of really, like, the next
Yeah.
layer of the journey of really
Yeah.
tuning into this, discovering what my soul wants to express,
Yeah.
like not fighting against wanting to be different than I am. Okay,
Mm.
wanting to be able to
Mm.
drink or wanting to be able to have XYZ. It was like, well, what does my soul really want for me? And it
Mm.
had nothing to do with alcohol.
All right.
It was really just figuring out my authentic expression.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, that was one of the most powerful ones that yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
That
Oh,
answers the
that
question.
is so very potent and
Mm,
powerful, and such bravery I hear in you
yeah.
and see in you all the time. budding and budding and blooming and blooming and budding and blooming,
Mm.
So I guess my last question, and I know this won't be the last time we interview, but we do so much. I've been so dedicated. I know you're really dedicated to the inner journey, the inner work, my insides, right? That's how I've been able to really grow and know who I am and become authentic. What is your favorite aspect of yourself that has arisen maybe in these last 6 months? What have you seen that, like, I've been actually able to, I could cry when I say this, I've been actually able to really look at myself lately in the mirror and just go, wow, kid, you're looking good. Like, I love what I'm seeing in the mirror. And
Mm.
that's massive, massive. Like, what is your wow, self-loving, embracing part of you? Or is there many?
Well,
Or your favorite, whatever, however you want to.
yeah, I think I need to tune in for a second for that one. I think, or I guess I feel in my heart that being able to really embrace some of the shadow aspects of myself,
Sure.
knowing, like, really that deep knowing that we as human beings are not perfect. We are perfectly imperfect. We're divine perfection,
Mm.
but we are going to make mistakes. And so the forgiveness piece, my self forgiveness for all
Right.
of the trail of just
Right.
garbage that I've left in my wrath, because I have
Mm.
hurt a lot of people in
Mm.
my addictive years, and I have so much remorse for that and regret. But that that piece that says, if I hadn't have experienced all that, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't
Mhm.
have this feeling of, wow, I am truly a divine being, and I'm here having a human experience.
Yeah.
All is well with the soul. The
Right.
soul loves all experience. It's
Right.
we as humans that judge. And
Right.
so taking away that constant judgment of myself,
Mm.
I'm just the rigidity that
Mm.
I would live in, of just the self-loathing, the self-beating is
Yeah.
starting
Yeah.
to soften. And that
Mm.
includes, like you, being able
Mm.
to look in the mirror and I see all these lines, right? But
Mm.
they're mine. They
Mhm.
show the life I've lived, and
Right.
I'm not going to cover them up.
Right.
I'm going to
Right.
smile, because I
Right.
also believe that you see from the
Yay.
inside out.
Yes,
It's
we do.
inside out. And if you
Yes, we
love who
do.
you are, you're connected to that authentic
Yeah.
self. Your soul, your authentic self is your soul made visible.
Mm.
That's what I believe. And
Mhm.
so if you're connected to that, like, you are just shining the light from
Yeah.
above. And what's
Yeah.
more beautiful than that? So really tapping.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
girl. Woo!
Oh,
You've got a lot to offer. A lot of women could really, really benefit from being in your presence and
thank you.
basking in your spirit. You've been in it. And those of us that have been in it, there's nothing like the feeling of holding the lantern, for the next
Mm,
person that's just right behind us. We get to hold that lantern
yeah.
and say, here, come hold my
Yeah.
hand. I've got you. I've got you.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
got you. I've been there. I know. I
Yes, it
know.
is
And I can still be
possible.
there in a heartbeat. But
Yeah.
for
It
today,
is so,
grounded, sober, wise.
yeah.
So,
It's so possible to rise up.
yeah.
And no matter how
Yeah.
many times you fall down,
Right.
you just get back up.
We always rise together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So beautiful. Any last thoughts, words of wisdom? What would you say to your 12-year-old self?
oh,
What would you tell her
oh,
right now? If that's, I don't know if I just pressed a
yeah.
vulnerable button,
You,
but
yeah, you are so unconditionally loved,
mm,
and you deserve to shine. You are
mm,
worthy, and no matter what you do and how you express yourself, it's all divine perfection.
mm.
Just be you. Just be 100% unapologetically
Yeah.
authentically you, and all will be well.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So beautiful.
That's what
Oh,
I would say to her.
and yeah, I know my 12-year-old really needed every syllable, every word of that. That was beautiful. That was like prayer to me,
Thank
a
you.
prayer to my younger self. Thank you,
Yeah.
Tammy. All
Yeah.
right. Well, we will link to the bottom where people can find you. And I wish you the most beautiful day.
Thank you. You too.
Happy soul-filled, soul sugar-filled Sunday. And I
Soul
will talk
sugar.
to
I
you.
love that.
Yeah, fill your soul with sugar, right? Healthy sugar that nourishes us. Doesn't I don't necessarily mean donuts and sugar.
I
I
know
mean
you don't.
what truly nourishes us. And you
Yes.
definitely fit that bill for me. So
Thank you. Yes.
thank you, my dear.
Thank you for
Thank
having me.
you, everyone who came today, and I will see you on our next show. And if you have any questions or comments, please like and subscribe and share and leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us if you're struggling, and we'll help you reach out and get some support. All right.
Yes.
Take good care. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.